Pregame.com.
All right, we're fading the team off arguably their biggest win in school history on CBS Sunday afternoon. This is Brad Powers in the Pregame.com studios just off the Vegas Strip. We're talking Sunday Big Ten basketball action. We got Purdue at Northwestern.
Two teams both headed to the big dance. Who do you like?
I like the road team here. I like Purdue. And let's call some value on Purdue. My buy price in this one, we'll call it at -5 or less. But let's talk about Mr. Steve Fezzik's Northwestern Wildcats. I got to question their motivation. Even though it's senior day for them, they are off arguably their biggest win in school history. Why was it one of their biggest wins? Because Northwestern in their entire basketball history has never made the NCAA tournament. But with that last second storm the court win over Michigan, it's more than likely, 99.99% chance, they will be in the big dance this year. And after such a monumental victory for them, I'm expecting this one to be a little bit of a flat spot for Northwestern, and some lax effort is not a good sign when you got Purdue coming to town. We'll take the Boilermakers -5 or less.
So during football, we're always looking for that tear down the goalpost game to fade the team the very next game, and you couldn't ask for a better tear down the goalpost type game than here, where not only do they need the game like blood, but they almost blow it. It's tied against Michigan. They're probably going to lose in overtime, and they hit the pass all the way down the court, make the bucket to win the game. You got to wonder how they're going to get up on Sunday.
Yeah, and let's break it down even past the Michigan game. You look at the last month of Northwestern basketball, where every single possession, every single game has mattered. They've had multiple close games. They won a few of them, a big win over Wisconsin, games that they probably should have lost against Rutgers. But you look at it now, with that win over Michigan, more likely they're going to get to the NCAA tournament. So what I expect is finally they can take that breath, that sigh of relief. And with that, I think we're going to get a little bit of a lax effort here in this game.
Let's be the team. Let's be Northwestern. So everything's going great. They're heading for the NCAA tournament. The Big Ten's down. Then Scotty Lindsey, their best player, goes out with mono. And all of a sudden they start struggling. They lose to Illinois. And then they bring him back a little bit too soon. It's hard to recover from mono. He's not going to be 100% the rest of the year. They lose again to Illinois. They almost lose to doormat Rutgers at home. You could see how nervous they were. They needed every game like blood here to win it. Finally, they can go ahead and relax. But guess what? Maybe not relax completely, because it's an academic school on the quarter system. You know they've already failed a midterm or two. They got finals in a couple weeks. It's one thing when you need every basketball game. Now they're going to have to balance life a little bit.
Yeah, and you make a great point there. You should know you went to Northwestern. They're one of those schools where academics actually, for the most part, takes a priority towards athletics. And with some finals coming up for Northwestern, maybe their mindset's like, hey, we're going to get in the tournament. Now my next obstacle is I got to pass some of my classes.
And here's a team that is certainly regressing. We talk about the team no one wants to play in the tournament. Northwestern's the team everyone wants to play in the tournament. Where do you have them in your power ratings that you go ahead and publish, pregame.com, twice a week, I believe? How far have they fallen from their high point?
Yeah, publish them each and every Tuesday and Friday during the course of college basketball season. And even with the win against Michigan, this is a team that's still 3-5 straight up and against the spread their last 8 games. You take it back a month ago, I had them as a top 30 team in my basketball power ratings. But since that drop in the last month or so, I've dropped them about 3 points, and they're barely a top 50 team at this point.
Let's talk about the other team that's surging here. Purdue, lots of motivation for this game.
Yeah, and that leads me right into my second main handicap. Let's talk about the Boilermakers. I'm not worried about their motivation in this one. In fact, if they get a win here over Northwestern, and the line's going to be cheap enough where, we just want them to win and by, a little bit of a decent-sized margin. If they get the W here, they clinch the outright Big Ten championship. So they're going to get the #1 seed in the Big Ten championship tournament. And also, if they can win out, Purdue's looking at possibly a #2 seed in the NCAA tournament. So all these games down the stretch for Purdue mean something.
And you could make the case for, as opposed to Northwestern, that's fat, drunk, and happy off the big win. The last time Purdue went on the road, disaster bomb job at Michigan. They are going to be eager to atone for that.
Yeah, I know that one. I gave out Purdue on a podcast, so well aware of that bomb job on the road against Michigan. But I think that focuses them here. Hey, we can't go out on the regular season with 2 poor jobs on the road. I think that increases their focus here, and I think they also want to establish some dominance over Northwestern. They beat them by 21 in the first meeting. They're going to be laying a reasonable number here.
I have to tell you, I love this pick by you. Let's make it official.
Yeah, let's make this one official. Northwestern here has a questionable motivational spot. They are off arguably their biggest win in school history, and off that win, they're going to most likely make the NCAA tournament for the first time ever in school history. That way, I think this is a little bit of a flat spot for them here. On the other side, we can't question the motivation for Purdue. They win this ball game outright. They get the outright Big Ten championship, and they also can improve by continuing to look impressive as far as their NCAA tournament seeding goes. Add it all up. Expect there to be value on Purdue. Buy price at -5 or less. More videos at pregame.com.